So today class we see in M method, how to install Postgres via M method and how to customize the installation part. So we completed on M method. So let's see. Next method is RPM installation. So you can install Postgres via RPM method also. Okay. So for any Linux platform, we can choose any one of the method out of these three. So either source code method or M method or RPM method. So this is will be applicable only Windows platform. So that we already completed. So this one completed, this one also completed, and let's see this one RPM installation part. Okay, so as of now, directly we install the software, we download the software and we install. Okay, so how we are going to installing? Just install the software, then create a cluster. Create a cluster. So for installing the software, while installation of software, it's installing, it's installing client libraries, client software, and server software as well. It installing both client software and server software. Client software and server software. So in case of RPM method, in case of for both client software and server software, there is one file is there. That's it. We have to download it. We have to install. We have to download. We have to install. But in case of RPM method, in case of RPM method, so for there is for can say for client software, what are the client software? Client software means so client libraries are there, then client software. So these two files, if we install these two files, we're done with the client software. If you install server software, yes, if you want to install server software, what are things? There is a server related RPM file is there, and also contrib modules related RPM file. So we'll see separate. We have topic contrib modules. So there we'll discuss. As of now, in case of source code method, please go on mute. In case of source code method, in case of M method, so with a single step, if it is source code method, you have to download one file, software file. You can enter the file. How to installing? There is a command. How to installing source code method? There is a configure, make install. With these three steps, we are finishing the installation of Postgres software, either client software or server software. It is going to installing both the softwares. In case of M method, what is the step? There is a M install Postgres SQL 15 something. Okay. With this command, going to installing the client software as well as server software. But in case of RPM method, here we are installing client software and server software. For each and every software, there is a separate RPM file is there. There is a separate .rpm file is there. Client libraries. One of the separate RPM file is there. We have to identify what is the RPM file for client libraries. What is the client software related RPM file? First, we have to install client libraries, then go to the client software. Once install this two, then go to the server software. For server software, there are separate RPM file is there. What is the RPM file for server related file? Then contrib modules. Like this, we have to install separately. Client library separately, client software separately, server software separately, contrib modules related file is separate. So can say what are the files? Can say here there is a word libs. By using this keyword, we can understand this is the client libraries related RPM file. For all the files, the extension could be .rpm. For all the files, the file extension could be .rpm. So this is for client PostgreSQL 14 client libraries file. If you install this file, client library is going to install. This is for client software, PZDZ. This is for client software. If you installing client software, before installing client software, there is a dependency file is there. We have to must and should install client libraries. First install client libraries, then install client software. We have to follow sequence. So once you finish the client software, suppose sometime the requirement is only install client software. If you want to install only client software, in case of source code method, we have to finish these 3 steps. In case of M method, we have to finish this one. In case of RPM method, we have to finish these 2 files. First install client libraries, then client software. The server related, there is a keyword server. By using this keyword, we can understand this is the server related RPM file. There is a contrib keyword. By using this keyword, by using this file, we can install contrib models related software. So like this, separate each and every component, we have separate RPM file is there. We have to identify, we have to download the same postgresql.org website. We can download, we can install in sequence. So first we have what file we have to install? Client libraries. How to install any RPM file? How to verify the prerequisites? RPM-QA, RPM-QA GCC. GCC also one of the .rpm file only. If you found the RPM is existing or not, you can use RPM-QA. If you want to install any RPM file, you can use RPM-IVH RPM file name. Like this, you can see we are installing Postgres libraries. RPM-IVH. When you keep QA, it's going to identifying whether it is RPM is existing or not. We are installing RPM, so you have to use -IVH. Going to install client libraries. Next, going to install client software. Once install these two, we can go and verify the installation part. What is the default home location for M method or RPM method? User pages equal 14. If you install 14, 14. If you install 15, version will be changed. There you can see bin folder, libraries, share folder. Then server, install server related RPMs. Yes, server RPM-IVH server related RPM file. Then contrib. Once install all the components, then create a cluster. The same switch user, then initdb is the utility which we can go and create a cluster. It takes the default data directory. We already seen how to customize the username and data directory. The same process, M method and RPM method. So if you are not specify, it takes the default data directory varlib pages equal 14 data. Then it gives the command to start the services. If you want to start the manual process, you can use this one, or if you don't want to continue with the PGCTL, if you want to start a PostgreSQL systemctl, you can use same. The service file, same service file is created. Systemctl start PostgreSQL 14.service. You can status, then you can enable also. Systemctl enable PostgreSQL.service. Okay. Like this, we can build the database server using RPM method. So once start the services, you can verify where is the service file status. It gives the service file location file name. You can see here disabled. So because I did not run this one, so must and should enable this step. You have to run this step so that it could be enabled. So once the services are started, we can see data directory, the home location. These are all background process. Then you can connect the database using PSQL. So these are the steps we have to follow in case of RPM method. You can say source code, what is the home location? This is the default home location. Data directory you can use whatever. So in case of M method, this is the default home location. This is the data directory. For RPM method also same. For M method or RPM method, default home location, default data directory same. If we install 15, the number will be changed. 15 will be created. Inside 15, there is a data folder is there. Okay. So for manual start, for any method, we have to use pgctl utility. We can use stop and start cluster services. If you don't want to continue with the pgctl, you can start using systemctl. If you use systemctl, so whenever the node is rebooted, after rebooting node, the services started automatically. No need to start manually. Okay, for easy identification, just I mark this is the libraries related software module because of using this keyword, we can easily identify. Next, PGDG, this is the client software. This is for 14, PostgreSQL 14.15 version for 64-bit. This is for server related RPM file. By using keyword, we can identify server related RPM file. Next, by using this keyword, we can identify contrib related RPM file. Okay, how to install any RPM file? You can use rpm-ibh space RPM file name. We have to follow the sequence. First, we have to install the libraries, then client software, then server related RPM file, then contrib related RPM. Once install all the files in sequence, then create a cluster using initdb, then start the services. Any queries in this? Okay, let's go and implement.
Excuse me.
Good.
It's just a suggestion because some of us follow you when you do the class. So I would suggest maybe before you start the class, you can send us the materials so that we can follow you along.
I send a message. You are in the group, right?
Yes, like this type of material that we want to use today now, maybe you can send it before the class because some of us follow you do the lab as you're doing the class. Do you get what I mean?
You want me to send a message before starting?
No, these materials that we are using, the script, the materials we are using, you can send it ahead of the class because some of us do the lab as you are doing it, we follow you like that, so we can get the script to be following you.
Or since he does one or two editing during the class, then he can send it immediately after the class. It's either way because I know at times he types one or two things into the notepad or the notepad that he has. So well, it's just a suggestion. I agree with what you said, but again, after the class, since he makes one or two edits, and he can send them again.
Yeah,
Depends on which one.
yeah. After class only, I am sending the record and the notepad file. So if you're
Okay,
in the
good. I
group,
think that
you
would
did
work.
yesterday onwards, I am sending the files. If you're not received, just send a message in the group itself. Okay, today onwards, okay, I'll request to get the mail IDs for all of you. Once get the mail IDs, then I will start to send Google Drive via Gmail. You receive the mail, the whatever the notepad every day I am using and record itself. If you not receive, just send a message in the group so that okay, so we come to know and we'll resend it. That's fine.
Yeah, fine by me.
Yeah.
Popsy, I don't know whether you're fine. Yeah.
No, that's cool.
Okay. So if you not receive, just send a message in the group itself. Okay. That is the common communication for all. I understand. Okay. This is your evening time. So I think almost 8:30 to 9 p.m. Okay. So after I class, immediately we'll send all the things. If you not receive, just you can send message anytime. Okay. No issue. Thanks. Okay, so yesterday after class only I send the mess. I send the notepad file. You can see here, Postgres 35. So you can see. So yesterday 9 o'clock I sent this file. Record also I sent. Installation M method. Before yesterday, so I upload into YouTube channel. So from yesterday there is a okay. I started to send these two. So today I requesting the, just send the Gmail IDs in this group. I will send you okay Google Drive via Google Drive. Okay. So let me start Linux server. Okay. So this is my Linux server. Let me start. If you while installation lab setup or something, if you face any challenges, just let me know. Okay, ping in the same group, someone will assist you to set up lab environment. Or if you okay, I know you are a SQL DB background, maybe stuck in somewhere. Okay, just ping in the same group. Okay, we'll assist you. Don't worry. After a few days, okay, you get familiar with these Linux commands.
Venkat, it's like, do you have something consolidated command list or which we are usually used from the Postgres aspect for the Linux? If it is there, can you share that with us?
1 minute. Let me. I will. Let me share you. Yeah, done. I shared in the group. Okay.
Thanks.
Videos there in the YouTube channel. You can go through videos in the YouTube channel. Okay.
Okay.
It's all our
On your channel itself.
yeah 50 to 60 commands only. Nothing is there. Okay, so let me take IP address. So this is the Linux server. So for any server, so the server is not in the work location. The server is located in the client location. We have to establish the connection to Linux server. So let me take IP address. How to get the IP address? If config. When you give if config, we get the IP address in real time. Linux admin they share with you. This is the IP address. This is the username password. Using those details, we can open putty. We can establish the connection remotely. Here, this is the local system. We take the IP address 116. Let me open the putty. So 292.168.0.116. So enter. What is the username, root, password, Oracle. So I establish the remote connection. So let me increase the font size. Change 14, bold. Yes. So I increase the font size. Now you can say LL nothing is there. So now we have to download the all the RPM files which we required for okay RPM method. So let me go to where we can download these RPM files. Postgres.org. Click on download. So we are installing Postgres via RPM method. So on Linux platform. So for RPM method or M method, we have to select the packages. You can see, click on packages, select the operating system Linux, Red Hat. So come down. If it is M method, so here we can select the version and get the instructions that we already seen. So for RPM method, come down. There is a direct RPM download. Click on direct to download. You can see. So we done 15 version. So yesterday we'll see 14. Okay. So from 16 onwards, we required Postgres Linux 8 version required. So we are in the Oracle Linux 7.9. So let's see Postgres SQL 14. You can see here. So for Postgres SQL 14, so we can get the all the RPMs for 14 version. So RHL, can say RHL CentOS 7 64-bit. Can say click on this because we are in the 7.9. So major version 7 is the bit is 64-bit operating system. Click on this. So Postgres SQL database server 14 PZDZ. Click on this. So here, so this is for client programs libraries. This is for contrib modules binaries. This is for shared libraries. This is for Postgres SQL server related RPMs. So these 4 RPMs mandatory to build a database server using RPM method. When you click on first one, this is for client software. The first one, this is the latest version, 14.15. This is 14.14, 14.13. So always you can download latest version. So just right click, copy link address. Copy. If you click on this, it's going to download into local system. How to transfer those files from local system to Linux server? You have to use WinSP file. So I have an internet connection. So I can download in the server itself. How to download? Just right click, copy link address, go to the server, wget the link which we copied. Enter. It's internally connected to, can say, connected to this website. Download that file. Yes, the download is completed. Now you can say LL. To see the LL is the command to see the list of files or directories. Can see here how to identify which one is the file, which one is the directory. The white, based on the color we can identify. Whatever the white color, it's showing files. Can say. Whatever the blue color, those all are directories. Directory means equal to folder in Windows. Can say. These are the folders. Yes or no? Folder. In case of Linux, we can say directory. Directory equal to folder. So the blue color, we can say directories. Based on the color, we can identify which one is the file, which one is the directory. This is the RPM file. This is also file. This is .rpm. This is the normal test file. Can see here, based on the starting letter also we can identify. In the starting letter, D is there. That is the directory. D. Here there is no D. Hyphen is there. So that is the file. Remaining all are blue color, all are starting D is there. So these are directories. This is the file. These are the directories. Starting D is there. Based on the color, we can identify. This is the file. There is no D. .rpm file. These all are directories. Based on this, based on the color, we can identify which one is the directory, which one is the file. Based on the starting letter, we can identify which one is the file, which one is the directory. So LL, it gives the list of files and directories on the current location. I am in the current location, root home directory. I log in with root user. So I am in the root home directory /root. How to download the files? Using wget command, we can download in the Linux server itself. Let me download second one. Go back, contrib. So copy, right click, copy link address. Then go to the server, wget link. It's connected and downloaded. You can say LL. Yes, second file is downloaded. That is contrib related file. So these two are the files only. Starting there is no D. And also color is not blue. Okay. Let me download other file. Libraries. First one, right click, copy link address, wget, connected, downloading. LL, 3 files are downloaded. Next, fourth one, server related RPM file. Right click, copy link address, go to the server, wget, downloading. You can see connected under downloading. Now LL. So these are the 4 files we downloaded. We are in the root home location. We downloaded. We given wget command. So it's downloading on the current location only. What is my current location? /root. Present working directory. PWD means present working directory. That is equal to, suppose in Windows, where I am in I am in the C drive. This is my PWD, present working directory. I am in the C drive only. What is my current location? This is my current location. If you go to inside this somewhere, this is my current location. In Linux, how to get the current location? You have to give the pwd command. Pwd, present working directory. Clear? So dffnh to see the mount points, all the mount points. These all are mount points. Equal to C drive, D drive, E drive. These drives, these mount points we created. Few of the mount points it's created automatically. /dow shared memory /run. These are all created automatically. This is we created like D drive, E drive, like E drive. We created manually these mount points. These all are created automatically when you install Linux operating system. User one also. So nothing is there user one. So we can keep some files. Yes. Like D drive. When you install Windows operating system, inside the C drive OS is installed. D drive, E drive to keep our files and videos we created. The same way here, /backup for our purpose. If you want to keep backup files, I created one file system. I created one other file system user to equal to D drive, equal to E drive. Like this, I created a few mount points. So what is the total capacity? User to total 16 GB. You can see size. The total capacity user to 16 GB allocated. How much used? 33 MB only. How much available? 16 GB available. How much percentage used? 1%. What is the user one total capacity? 31 GB I given. /backup. What is the total capacity? 11 GB. /root. You can see here. How much used? 10 GB because OS operating system installed inside this /root file system. People called as root file system. Root means /. How much used? 10 GB. What is the total capacity? 31 GB. What is the available? 21 GB. How much percentage used? 33% used. So this is for disk utilization, monitoring for disk usage. Disk means file system. So I am in the, what is my current directory? /user1. If you go to root home directory, just cd. What is my present working location? /root. When you give cd, it's go back to current user root home directory. Suppose I want to go to /user2, cd change directory. I want to change my directory, change my location. cd, where you want to go? Suppose /backup. Yes. What is my present working directory? /backup. I am inside the backup. LL. Nothing is there. If you have any files or directories inside this location, it will display. Nothing is there. Clear? So cd, go back to root home directory. pwd /root. Root is the root home directory. Okay. So where is our files? /root home directory. If you go to /user2, if you see there, nothing is there. We downloaded inside /root home directory. So go back to root. There we can see all the files which we downloaded. If you want to copy these files, all /user1, yes, you can copy. How you can copy? cp, copy the file. cp from current location to cp file to which location you want to copy. Suppose user1. This file is copied to user1. If you want to, you can verify. Go to the user1 location LL. Yes, the file copied. The file is available inside the root home directory, inside the user1 as well. Just we copied. So again, go to back root home directory, LL. I want to move the file. For moving the file, mv command. Suppose move contrib file to user1. When you move the file in the current location, root home directory, there is no contrib file because we moved. If we copy, the file is available both the location. When you move the file after moving, the file is existing in the target location, not in the old location. When you go to user1, yes, there we can see. You can say contrib. Like this, we can copy the files, we can move the files. cd, ll. If you want to move all the files, postgres SQL 14 *. It's going to move all the files which are started with this name. Postgres14 move to /user1. You have to specify the target location. Yes, it's already existing. Means it's asking override. Yes. Now go to user1. I copied all I moved. Nothing is there in the root home directory. Where I mean /root. Nothing is there. All the files move to user1 location. Clear? So this is how you copy the files and move the files. CD, change directory, to know the present working directory, pwd, and to see the files and directories ls-lrt or ls. When you give ls, side by side it gives the files information. When you give ls-lrt, it gives the more information. This is file or directory. What is the permissions? What is the owner of this file? Owner, root. This owner belongs to one group. Group name also root. What is the file size? What is, when this file created? Like this, it gives the more information if you give ls-lrt. List out all the files or directories in the current location. What is my current location? /user1. If you want to see, is there any files or directories inside /user2? You have to go to user2, cd user2. Nothing is there, /user2. If you want to see all the files, directories from user1, you have to go to user1 location, pwd, I am in the user1 location, ll. Okay, so we'll see daily, okay, 10-15 minutes we'll discuss Linux commands so that you guys get familiar. That's fine. Okay, so you can see now we have to install. So let me check the prerequisites. rpm-qa gcc. So gcc also one of the rpm file. Yes, it's installed. Next, make-version. What is the compiler version? It should be 3.80 or above. We are good with the mandatory prerequisites part. Next, rpm-qa readline. Yes, readline also one of the RPM file. To find the RPM is existing or not with this name, you can use rpm-qa. So zlib also existing. Yes, we are good. All the prerequisites part, either mandatory or optional prerequisites. Next, we can go and start the installation. So first, which one we have to install? First, client libraries we have to install. We downloaded already. First, we have to install client libraries. Then client software. Then server related RPM file. Then contrib. How to install? rpm-ivh. So which is the file? Client libraries. This is the one. Going to install. You can say the installation of client libraries going on. Let's wait. You can say done. Successfully install client libraries. Next, client software. You can say this is the client software. rpm-ivh. Yes, going to installing. Next, okay, now we finish the installation part. Only client software. Let me go to user pg/SQL. User pg/SQL14. You can say we can see bin folder, we can see lib folder, share folder. Now we have to start the server installation. Yes, the same thing. So we done, verify the installation part, we verified, then server installation. So cd, I am in the root home not root, we have to go to user1 because the files are existing user1 location. rpm-ivh, what is the server related file? This is the server related file. Going to installing server related RPM file. Next, contrib related RPM file. You can say rpm-ivh. Yes, we done. Now we install all the RPM files. Now we can create a cluster. How to create a cluster? We have to switch to Postgres user. Yes, /user pg/SQL14 bin initdb. Using initdb, any method. How to create a cluster? Using initdb utility. When you give init DB, it's going to create a cluster with a default data directory with a default user. So if you want to start the services manual, yes, you can start. If you don't want to start services using PCCTL, you can start systemctl. But anything is fine. Let me start the services systemctl, start PostgreSQL 14. Yes, you can say enable. Let me enable services. Yes. Now can check the service status. Now it's enabled. Auto start is enabled. Under Postgres services are active. It's running. What is the data directory? This is the data directory. This is the home location. These all are background process. The Postgres services are running with this process ID, PID. These all are with each background process running with a specific PID. Now I can say how to connect the Postgres database, switch to Postgres user, then PSQL. I connect a default database Postgres. /du, what is the super user here? You can say Postgres is the super user because I did not mention any user. So if you not specify, default it creates super user is Postgres. How many database created? 3 databases. Postgres, template 0, template 1. Out of these 3, which one is the default DB? Postgres is the default DB. That's why when you give PSQL, it's connected to Postgres DB. Okay. Suppose, so PSQL is the utility which we can use to connect the database. So where it was located? PSQL, where it was located? Under bin folder. Let me go to /usr PGSQL14 bin. Here you can say PSQL is there. You can say this is the PSQL is the utility which was located inside this folder. So PSQL is the utility which we can use to connect the database. What are the options are there? What are the options we can use PSQL? If you PSQL -help. If you don't know what are the options, how you can use with this PSQL? You can use .psql. PSQL -help. It use the help commands. How you can use PSQL? You can say -d, DB name. -d. If you want to connect the specific database, you have to mention -d or -db name. -f file name. Create command from file. -l list. -v variable name value. -v version. It gives the version. PSQL version. So can say -h connection options. To connect the database, we are using PSQL. What are the connection options? -h host name. If you are in the direct DBA server, no need to specify the -h host name. If you are in the client mission, if you want to establish the connection remotely for any database, we have to specify the host name. Here, how can specify -h or -host? -b port number. If your database is not running default port number, you mustn't specify -p port number. For default host name, default port number, default username, default DB, no need to specify these options. Can say -w, no password, means never prompt for password. If we keep -W, it's asking force password for prompt. These are the connections options when you are using PSQL. These are the options we may use. For all default user, default DB, if you want to connect a default database, if you want to connect the default database with a default user, with a default port number, no need to use these all options. So PSQL -d, Postgres, default database Postgres, -u, what is the default user, super user Postgres, -p, port number 5432, -h, host name. So no need to specify, these all are default values. That's why when you give PSQL, it's connected default database only. You can say database. So what is the current user?
select a current underscore user. Can say means we connected to this database with the default user Postgres user. So default user default DB. What is the port number? Show port. All are default values. No need to specify PSQL. Just give PSQL. Suppose let me create one database. Create database. Database name HRMS. Now I want to connect directly. I want to connect a HRMS database. Then in that scenario, you have to specify -d DB name. You can say I connected directly HRMS database. If you not specify PSQL, just if you not specify -d, directly connected to default DB only. It consider default database Postgres. Default user, which user used to establish this database, current underscore user. It gives the current user. Which user we use to establish the connection? Default user Postgres. What was the port number with this database? Show port, default port only. Clear any queries? Let me create one user. Create user ABC with the password ABC. Suppose I created a ABC user. Okay. So now I want to connect a HRMS database with ABC user. Then tell me PSQL-D HRMS-U. What is the user? ABC user I want to use to establish the connection to HRMS DB. What was the port number? Port number is same default. No need to specify. If you want to specify, you can specify. It's optional. -H. -H also directly I am in the database server. No need to specify -H. If you want to specify, you can specify. Like this, you can use PSQL options. So now, what is the current user? Can say select a current underscore user. We used ABC user to establish this database. If you not specify this, directly connected to this database with the Postgres user. Understand? Okay. So when you give PSQL, directly connected to Postgres user with the Postgres database. So /l list of all the database in this instance, /dn list of the schemas. Okay. So let me. Any queries from anyone?
In real time, some validation purpose, they have given some server details. So when I check the server status, it is in stopped mode. So I don't know which version installed on the server.
Okay, you want to know which version installed on that, right?
Which version buyer is, and I don't know where is the data directory location and all.
There should be Excel inventory sheet is there, real time. So you have to refer the inventory sheet. What is the database name? What port they used? What data directory they used? What is the home location? What is the host name, IP address? Everything it's mentioned the inventory sheet for every database, not only Postgres.
Okay. Apart from that, is there any process to find it?
Sorry?
Apart from that, is there any process to find it?
Nothing. Okay, so we can get the version details. Let me go to data directory. Class where like if the database is running, we can come to know PG/SQL 14 data. Can see. So there is a PG version. If you cat this file inside the data directory, we come to know 14 version installed. Okay. So if you want to know data directory, you have to go to. So by using dfFNH, each and every file system you can verify where you can find these all the files. That is the data directory location. So if you feel it is tough to search for each and every file system, so there should be inventory sheet is there for every database. It is Oracle or Postgres, whatever. So we can refer always inventory sheet only because we have many databases are there, right? Not only one server.
Okay.
Like this, we have inventory sheet is there. Host name, you can see here somewhere. Like host name and DB name, port number and data directory and home location and port number like this. They maintain in the Excel sheet. This is inventory sheet people call as. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Other thing, if I want to customize the PG wall directly, is it possible?
Will do. Okay, this is the installation part only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we have separate section, wall files, archive, everything. We have go to the topic.
Okay.
So we'll discuss when the topic comes. Yes, we
Okay.
can possible. We can okay. When we discuss, there is a wall files are there somewhere. Parameters. Let me show you. You can see wall files. Here I will show you how to customize where the wall files are created, default location, how to customize. Okay, so just we did only installation part only. If you have any doubt in the installation part, you can go and ask. Any other queries?
Venkat, you have created one user. So,
Yes, correct.
and you have created with a root user, like the
I created normal user only.
normal
You can say
user.
PSQL.
So by default, what is the permission for that if I want to see?
Yeah, so every user, when you create a user, just it get the default privileges to connect any database. But after connecting, nothing privileges are there. Nothing is there. So just the user get the privileges to connect all the databases. But if with that user, if you want to perform anything, we need privileges. You can say
Okay,
slash
so
du ABC. It's a normal user. It's not a super user. We don't have any permissions. Here, if any permissions, it list out here in this place. Here you can say this is a Postgres super user, and also this user have create role permission, create DB permission like this. If any this user having any permissions, here it list out. There is no privileges. If you create any user default, the user can connect any database inside the instance. We'll discuss more on the user management part.
okay.
Yes, any other queries?
The roles are same for all the installation